Let's take a look at problem number 1 on the test. Y equals 2/5 x squared. We're asked to graph that. And we know that because it's a positive leading coefficient, that it's going to open up. The axis of symmetry is going to be the y-axis because there is no b term. And so we know that it's the y-axis. And so to find the vertex, then we just need to substitute 0 in for x. And so y equals 2/5 times 0 squared is going to give us 0. So we know it goes to the origin. And then we want to take the next whole number over. In this case, it's going to be 1. And so we substitute x with 1. So we go y equals 2/5 times 1 squared. So 1 squared is 1, so that's 2/5, so y equals 2/5. Now what we can do is, if we want to, since this is not a repeating decimal or a non-terminating decimal, then we can actually use 0.4 if we would like. So we could go 0.4. So we know it's going to go x is 1, y is 0.4. All we have to do is just estimate. Doesn't have to be exact. And then the next point over, we'll take a 2. So y equals 2/5 times x squared, so x is 2. And so y equals 2/5 times 2 squared, which is 4, which gives us 8/5, which gives us 1 3/5, or 1.6. And so we can go 1.6. And so we go over to 2, up 1.6. And at that point, the next step is to reflect those 2 points that we just did. So we take this first point, and it takes us 1 to go to the axis of symmetry. So we go 1 more over onto the other side and plot that point. Take the second point. It takes 2 to get to the axis of symmetry. So go to the other side by 2, and we plot that point. And at this point, then you can then draw the graph. And the key thing on drawing these graphs is to not make this look like a V at the bottom, because that's a whole different type of graph. And so this is kind of the rough idea. That's number 1.